Around a week ago, the GWS Giants surpassed their 10th year anniversary of being in the AFL competition. It's quite a magnificent milestone considering it just felt like yesterday when the young pups of the Giants entered the AFL versus the Sydney Swans in round 1 in 2012, making that game their inaugural match. From looking at these photos, we can see that there are a crop of players who are still playing for the Giants to this day, and some other players who didn't really last long in the comp. Last April, I made a video called the Sydney Swans 2012 Premiership Side, Where Are They Now? I'm going to be using the same principle in this video. Instead, we'll be taking a look at the 2012 GWS Giants inaugural side, their very first game, and see from their squad, where are they now? If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, and let's get into it. Number 1, Phil Davis. We kick off today's video with the inaugural co-captain of Phil Davis. The tall and intimidating key defender from North Adelaide was picked up in 2008, 10th overall by the Adelaide Crows. He would venture a move to the Giants in their very first year, and as said before, would captain the side for a very long time, until 2019. Phil Davis has truly been in the thick of it throughout the whole of the Giants' career, as he's been at the club for their entire existence. Throughout his career with the Giants, he's been a tall, tough and reliable defender for the G-men. Alongside being a co-captain with the Giants, in 2012 he was named the Giants' best defender, and also he is a GWS Life member. Despite a few hiccups in 2020 and 2021, currently he's fully fit and ready to go, as he'll be entering his 13th season with the Giants. Number 2, Curtly Hampton. Curtly was picked up by the Giants in 2010 through the Northern Territory zone selection. Throughout his time with the Giants, he was utilised as a general player, as he could play forward and back. He'd play 51 games for the Giants before moving on to Adelaide in 2016. He made his debut for the Crows in round 1 of 2017 against his old side the Giants, and then that very next year, mid-season, Hampton announced his retirement. Today, it's unknown what profession Curtly is actually doing, but currently, it seems that he's settling down with his family and kids in the Alice Springs area. Number 3, Stephen Coniglio. Of course we all know about Stephen Coniglio, as to this day, he is still playing for the G-men. Picked 2nd overall in the 2011 National Draft, he's become a vital and fan favourite member of the Giants throughout his whole career. 2019 would of course have to be Coniglio's breakout year, as he produced a fantastic season with the Giants, unlucky just to miss out of the All-Australian squad, and he also finished very well on the Brownlow count. His past 2 seasons have been a bit of fall from grace with inconsistency and injury, but still to this day in 2022, he is playing for the Giants, as he's looking to really rebound his career, and he is entering his 3rd year of co-captaincy for the Giants. Number 4, 𝐼𝐵 Folau. Possibly one of the most infamous players to ever play the game, 𝐼𝐵 Folau made the switch to AFL in 2010, when he stuck a deal with the Giants after a 3-way bidding war between rugby league, rugby union and of course AFL. 2011 he was placed in the 𝐼𝐵 side, giving a chance of him to build his craft. Utilised as a centre-half forward and also a ruck, his inaugural game he only managed to get 3 disposals and 7 hitouts. His AFL career was very short-lived, as at the end of the 2012 season, he gave up on playing any more AFL. After his described failure of an AFL career, he'd returned to rugby league, playing for the Waratahs for 2 seasons. He then went on to play rugby in Japan for 2 more seasons, and now currently he is still playing in Japan, as he's playing for the Shinning-Arcs in the Japan Rugby League 1. Number 5, Dylan Shiel. The small and silky midfielder was picked up by the Giants in 2010 as a 17-year-old through the underage selection. On the day, he was placed on the ball as he picked up 11 disposals and 3 tackles. He would go on to play for the Giants for 135 games. Nabbing his first All-Australian blazer in 2017, he'd eventually move on to the Essendon Football Club in 2019. Currently, he's entering his 4th season with the Dons, as he's looking to produce a consistent football season after being sidelined for the majority of the season last year. Number 7, Rhys Palmer. One of the very few players who played a handful of games before the inaugural match, he was taken at pick 7 overall back in the 2007 AFL draft, as he played for Fremantle from 2008 to 2011. It was truly a talented recruit that the Giants managed to grab, as Rhys, in his first season of the Dockers, managed to win the Rising Star Award and also the Best First Year Player. He played for the Giants for 69 games, spanning across from 2012 to 2016. He was then traded to the Blues for the 2017 season. He'd make his debut for the Blues in round 3 with a win over Essendon. Unfortunately, he struggled to make the ones for the rest of the season. Then he was delisted by Carlton. In 2018, he returned to Western Australia and played in the Waffle for the Swan Districts. Very unfortunately, in early 2019, he was the victim of a motorcycle accident, resulting in Palmer being placed in an induced coma. Currently, he's loving life in Perth, as he's also a business member of �𝐼𝐿𝐼 Clothing. Number 8, Callan Ward. Alongside Phil Davis, Callan Ward was the other inaugural co-captain for the Giants. Placed in the centres in the first game, Callan Ward is well known for kicking the Giants' very first goal in existence. Before playing for the Giants in 2012, he was picked up in the 2007 national draft at 19th overall, taken by the Bulldogs, as he played for the Doggies from 2008 to 2011. To this day, Callan Ward is one of the few Giants players who is still playing for the entire existence of the Giants' life in the AFL. Throughout his time, he was the co-captain from the very start to 2019. He's the current GWS games record holder, and of course, still to this day, he is a vital part of the Giants side. Number 11, Chad Corns. Chad was one of the very few AFL veterans. After a illustrious career with Port Adelaide for 13 years, he decided to move over to the very new GWS side, becoming a mentor for the young pups. We of course all know his time at Port Adelaide. Alongside his brother Kane, they managed to lift up the Premiership Cup in 2004, including that he was a 2 times All-Australian for Port Adelaide in that Premiership year and also 2007. It was definitely an interesting move to the Giants, as Chad actually came out of retirement and then he was traded to the Giants during the 2011 trade period. So the 32-year-old at the time was also a playing assistant coach. The next year in 2013, he'd announced his retirement from the AFL. Currently to this day, he's living in Adelaide with his family, as he's also the defence coach of the Port Adelaide Football Club. Number 14, Tom Bugg. Alongside Dylan Shiel, Tom Bugg was also an underage recruit in 2010 as a 17-year-old, playing as a small defender in their inaugural game. Tom had a very nice game with 27 disposals, 4 tackles and 5 marks. He would play for the Giants until 2015, then he would request a trade back to Victoria. Joining the Demons in 2016, Bugg was developing very nicely as he seemed to be quite a nifty little player for the Demons. Then unfortunately in 2017, his career turned sour, as during a game against the Sydney Swans, he struck Callum Mills square in the face. Of course, he was reported immediately. He was very sorry for what he did, as he also copped a 6-week suspension. The hit definitely caused a downward spiral in his career, as he was delisted by Melbourne at the end of the 2018 season. He was given a second chance in 2019 by joining Carlton, but before the start of the season, he announced his retirement. After his retirement, he decided to start his own business, as he moved to LA and is currently the CEO of 𝐼𝐴𝐿𝐼 Group, a social media agency. Number 16, Nathan Wilson. Picked up in 2010 as an underage recruit, Wilson would play on the Giants half-forward line, picking up 9 disposals, a goal, a mark and a tackle in their inaugural match. His stint would last with the Giants until 2017, managing to play 77 games for the G-Men. In the 2017 trade period, he's moved on to Fremantle. Currently to this day, he's still playing for the Dockers, as he is spending a mixture of his time playing in the Waffle and also the Ones. Number 18, Jeremy Cameron. Jeremy Cameron would arguably have to be one of the best ever players to play for the Giants. Picked up as an underage selection in 2010, on the day he played as a centre-half forward, picking up 8 disposals, 5 marks and a tackle. Little did he know, as I just mentioned before, he would turn out to be one of the best players to ever play for the Giants. Picking up the Best First Year Player Award in 2012, a Coaches Association Young Player of the Year the very next year in 2013, the Best and Fairest Award in 2013, an All-Australian selection in 2013, and in 2019 he had a fantastic season, picking up the Coleman Medal and another All-Australian selection. He'd play for the Giants until 2020, booting home 427 goals. His recent move back to Victoria to the Geelong Cats has so far been quite okay. Injuries have denied him from reaching his full potential with the Cats, and currently in 2022, he's looking to change that and try and get back to All-Australian form. Number 20, Adam Tomlinson. Being taken 9th overall as a tall key defender in the 2011 national draft, for his first game with the Giants, he'd pick up 13 disposals, 5 marks and a tackle. Tomlinson would have a very nice spell for the Giants, playing all the way until 2019. He decided to move back home to Victoria in the 2019 trade period, as he was traded to the Melbourne Demons. Even though the free agent signing hasn't played much game time for the Demons, he is still a part of the AFL Premiership drought-breaking squad. Even though he wasn't in the 2021 Grand Final selection, I guess you can still call him a Premiership player. After sitting out for the majority of 2021 with injury, currently in 2022, he is looking to bounce back from injury and become a consistent starting 22 player. Number 26, Jonathan Giles. Before getting recruited by GWS in 2012, Giles played for Port Adelaide from 2006 to 2009. He was delisted by Port at the end of the 2009 season, and then he was taken 3rd overall in the 2011 rookie draft. The inaugural ruckman for the GWS Giants, on the day he managed to pick up 12 disposals, booed home a goal, and collected up 26 hitouts. Throughout his time with the Giants, he played 51 games and played for 2 more seasons. He was traded to Essendon for the 2015 season, and then that next year he was traded again to West Coast. With a 2-year spell on the West, he retired during the 2017 season after ongoing injuries. Currently in 2022, Jonathan is living it up in Darwin as a project engineer. Number 29, Dom Tyson. Taken 3rd overall by the Giants in the 2011 National Draft, the midfielder managed 10 disposals in his first game with the Giants. He was traded to the Demons at the end of the 2013 season, where he'd play for the Demons until 2018. He became a solid player for Melbourne, picking up 94 games. During the 2018 trade period, he was moved on to North Melbourne. Throughout his time with the Kangaroos, he struggled to get a game. After 6 games in 3 years for North Melbourne, Tyson was delisted at the end of the 2021 AFL season, and the 28-year-old is currently a free agent. Number 31, Jacob Townsend. Taken by the Giants in 2010 from the New South Wales zone selection, he was another first gamer for the Giants in round 1 of 2012. On the day, he managed to pick up 9 disposals, 2 marks and 4 tackles. He would play 28 games for the Giants, spanning across from 2012 to 2015. He was then traded to Richmond in 2016. He was lucky enough to be part of the Tigers dynasty, as he was the starting wingman for Richmond in the 2017 Grand Final, therefore becoming a Premiership player. He also managed to win the VFL Premiership for Richmond in 2019. Then the next year in 2020, he was moved on to Essendon. After being delisted by the Dons at the end of the 2020 season, he was drafted with pick 5 of the 2021 rookie draft. He was only able to crack into the first side twice for the Suns before getting delisted again at the end of the season. He turned down the chance to potentially get drafted again, as he decided to call it a day. Number 33, Hoskin-Elliot. Picked 4th overall in the 2011 National Draft, he would kick a goal and pick up 16 disposals in his first game with the Giants. The midfielder forward would head on to Collingwood in 2017, and he'd be part of the rise and fall of the Pies. Throughout his time with Collingwood, he's become a player that's been on the ups and downs. With being in the losing 2018 Grand Final side, Hoskin-Elliot can be classed as an above-average player for the Pies. Currently, he's still chipping away playing footy for the Pies, and he's on track to playing his rest of his career with the Magpies. Number 34, Devon Smith. The crafty little midfielder forward was taken 14th overall in the 2011 National Draft. In the inaugural game, he managed to pick up 15 disposals with 3 marks and 5 tackles. He'd continue on playing for GWS until 2017. After playing 109 games and kicking 100 goals for the club, he'd move on to Essendon during the 2017 trade period. His first year at Essendon was quite a delight, as he was named the best and fairest player for the club. Currently, he's still playing for Essendon today, and he hopes to be part of a team that can finally reach Premiership glory. Number 35, Toby Greene. A young, fresh-faced midfielder forward by the name of Toby Greene would enter the competition via the 2011 National Draft, being picked 11th overall. His first game wasn't too bad at all, picking up 27 disposals with 3 marks and 5 tackles. Little did we know that he'd eventually become one of the best small forwards in the competition. Even though throughout his time with the Giants he's been infamously known as a bit of a diver, cheat and a grub, he is still a fantastic football player. With 2 All-Australians and captaining the side from 2022 onwards, he still has plenty left in the tank at 28 years old. Number 36, Jack Hombsch. Another player part of GWS's underage recruits. Playing on the half-back line in the inaugural match, he managed to rack up 18 disposals, 8 marks and a tackle. The year after GWS's inaugural season, he moved on to Port Adelaide, and he played for the club for 89 games and played till 2018. He was well known as a very consistent player for Port Adelaide Jack Hombsch, and at the end of the 2018 season he was traded to the Gold Coast Suns, where he ran out the clock of his career. Currently now, Hombsch is the head of development coach for Adelaide's AFLW side. Number 38, James McDonald, the oldest recruit and player playing in that game that day at 35 years old. McDonald had played for the Melbourne Demons his whole career since 1997. The target decided to spend his final season with the GWS Giants, playing 13 games and kicking 4 goals. In the inaugural match, he picked up 23 touches, a goal, 6 marks and 6 tackles. After retiring, he stayed on with the club as an assistant coach. Currently, he is working for his meat exporting business. Number 39, Tim Mohr. The Tasmanian was selected as a pre-selection in the 2011 AFL draft. On the day, he managed to pick up 16 disposals, 7 marks and 3 tackles from the centre-half back position. Throughout his time for the Giants, he played 48 games and only kicked 1 goal from 2012 to 2018. After being delisted at the end of the 2018 season, he moved on to Hawthorn, picking them up in the 2018 rookie draft. However, he failed to crack through and get a game, so then he was delisted at the end of the 2019 season. Today, he currently works at a company called Helicopter Resources, working as a ground support man. Number 40, 𝐼𝐗𝐿 𝐿𝐼. The final player on today's list, but certainly not the worst, as in the inaugural match, Kennedy managed to pick up 28 disposals with 11 marks, 17 kicks, 11 handballs and 2 tackles. The 29-year-old is still playing with the Giants to this day, so far racking up 130 games for the club. So everyone, there was the GWS Giants inaugural side taking a look where all the players are today. If you went on to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Make sure to comment down below and tell me, would you like me to do more Where Are They Now episodes? And apart from that fellas, hopefully you did enjoy and I'll talk to you later. See you later fellas.